Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joanna Kleinman, psychotherapist, creator of the Mind Method. And if you are here watching this video, I believe that you are already on a sacred path. And that is a path back to who you truly are beneath the noise and the fear and the stories that were never yours to begin with. So today we're going to walk through 7 powerful portals, gateways, really, that are going to take you deeper into the embodiment of your divine self. That is your authentic self. So this is not about becoming someone new. This is really about remembering the version of you that's been there all along, and the part of you that knows that you're already enough. There's nothing to prove. There's nothing to strive for. There's nothing to fix. So let's begin with portal number 1. And that is that your awakening begins at the edge of yourself. So your divine self is not something that you have to create. It's actually what remains when you dissolve what was truly never you. So all the striving and all the perfectionism and all the fear and the control and the what if and the future fantasizing and the ruminating on your past, that's not you. That's your inner critic's identity. And that identity has been built from a world that taught you that your worth has to be earned. Now, what if every painful moment in your life, every detour, every heartbreak, every mistake, what if that was actually leading you to that edge of you? And what if that edge is where your real self, your real life actually begins? Because it's in that moment of surrender where you stop trying to control and you stop thinking that worrying is the thing that's going to somehow get your life to be what you want it to be, and that your circumstances define your joy and your freedom. That's where the divine speaks. Now, when I created the Mind Method, it was because I needed a way to unhook from all that mental noise. And now it's how I live moment by moment and breath by breath. It's what I teach in the world. It's what I'm certifying other people to teach in the world. Because when you shift your energy, your reality begins to shift with it. And that is truly living heaven on earth. And it all starts at the edge of who you thought you were. So that leads us to portal number 2, which is to stop trying to figure out why you feel the way that you feel. So if you've been stuck trying to fix yourself or analyze your emotions or make sense of your inner world, let me offer you some freedom. You don't need to figure it all out. See, that's your inner critic's loop. It wants certainty and it wants control, but really all it does is keep you stuck because your emotions don't need to be solved. This journey is not about removing those emotions. This journey is about removing what's not you. So just like Michelangelo, when he sculpted the David, he said he didn't create the David. He removed the pieces of marble that weren't the David, and the David revealed himself. That's your work. That's the Mind Method in action. To observe your inner critic's story, to observe the loop of thoughts and emotions and behaviors that have created your reality, and to interrupt that loop and to return to what is the truth that you are not your fear. You are already whole, and you are already the person that you think you need to be. That person already exists inside of you right now. Which leads us to portal number 3, and that is connecting to the energy of love, because the energy of love changes the course of your life. And this is the most powerful shift you will ever make, choosing love over fear. Now, fear is your inner critic's native language. So your inner critic is going to say, what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? What if I'm judged? What if things don't work out? And that is the fear that tightens your nervous system and closes down your heart. Now, when you know how to access the energy of love, it's a totally different story, because that energy softens. That energy of love trusts. That energy says, no matter what's happening, I can choose peace. I can choose trust. And that love isn't a feeling. It's really an energetic frequency. You have to choose it, especially when you don't feel it. Now, that's the practice. Observe your automatic mind. Interrupt your automatic mind. Pause. Choose. Choose something different. Choose a different thought, a different belief that taps you into a different emotion and has you making different choices. And choose that again and again and again. Because each time you choose the energy of love, you rewire your nervous system. You shift the frequency of your being. You shift the frequency that you're embodying. And that is when everything around you begins to shift in response to that different energy that you're now embodying. Which leads us to portal number 4, which is your awakening is an ongoing practice. It is not a one-time event. It is a daily decision. It's a moment-by-moment decision. And every morning, when you wake up, you're given a choice. Do I begin my day in presence, or do I begin my day in automatic reaction? So the first 5 minutes of your day shape your frequency. So if you choose to connect with your authentic self first, before the noise, before the social media scrolling, before the stress, before the to-do list, before your calendar, that's a different life. Because when you begin from your heart and not your head, you change the way you speak, you change the way you listen, you change tuning into your divine guidance, your intuitive wisdom. And over time, this becomes who you are, not because you're trying, not because you're forcing, but because you're practicing. So you don't become your divine self by force. You become your divine self through practice. Portal number 5. Your self-concept is the foundation of your life. Everything in your life stems from one source, and that is who you believe yourself to be. That's your self-concept. Now, unless you're consciously choosing a new identity, you'll keep creating the same reality. So ask yourself, am I operating from my automatic self or my divine self? Am I caught in the spiral of fear and comparison and self-doubt? Or am I choosing the quiet upward spiral of trust and love and presence? Because that's what leads to expansion. That's what leads you to the highest version of yourself. Because this life is not random. Your life is actually a curriculum, right? Your life is always leading you to the lesson that you need to learn. It could be through pain, it could be through joy, but there's always a lesson. So you're the one that's writing the story, not your inner critic, you. So choose the voice that aligns with that future that you're designing, that future that you're stepping into. Portal number 6, stop trying to fix or change your story. See, here's what most people miss. You don't need to fix your story. You just need to stop giving your energy to it. Every time you feed that old inner critic narrative of unworthiness or failure or fear, you feed the loop. But when you drop into your heart, you let that old story dissolve, that's when something new can emerge. See that old story, that old inner critic self? It wasn't bad. It wasn't wrong. It actually brought you here to this edge, to this awakening. So now you get to decide. Are you going to keep repeating the past by buying into that same old inner critic version of you with the same old story? Or are you finally going to surrender to the life that's actually been trying to be born through you? And what I mean by that is when you're stuck in the noise, you can't hear what divine guidance has been trying to come through you. And when you tune into that, that's the moment that the shift happens. That's the moment that you stop surviving life and you start creating life. This leads us to portal number 7, which is that heaven on earth is actually possible for you right now. So heaven and hell are not destinations that we arrive at after we die. They are states of consciousness right now. So hell is separation. It's the voice of your inner critic whispering that you're not safe, you're not enough, and you're not connected. So heaven right now is understanding that we are connected. We are connected to everyone and everything. So it is accessing that energy of trust and presence and love. It is the peace that comes from knowing that you're already whole and you don't need to earn heaven. You just have to literally choose it right now. So even when the fear comes in, even when the doubt creeps in, even when life starts to get messy, there is an ever-loving universe that is always guiding you back to love if you're willing to listen. But you have to be willing to listen. And fear gets in the way of your ability to listen. So choosing love, choosing presence, choosing to live in conversation with that deeper force that's always been in you and is always speaking to you. That's what it means to embody your divine self. That's what real awakening is. And that is heaven on earth. So thank you for walking this journey with me. If this video stirred something in you, please share it with somebody that needs to hear it, because someone that you love might be standing on the edge of their own awakening, and sharing this video could be that invitation that they've been waiting for. If you haven't already, go take my free inner critic assessment. It will help you discover which inner critic voice has been shaping your life and how to begin dethroning it. And please remember, you're never alone. You're always loved, and your journey is sacred. So until next time, stay in your heart, stay in your truth, keep accessing your authentic self, and thanks for watching today.